welcome to the Vesper Games. Tonight I am going to start playing a new game on this channel, and it is White Knight. And this game is classified on Steam as a survival horror game, I think. It is a horror game, and it's got quite a dark storyline. I have played it through at least once before, and I really liked it. I really like this game, so I hope you will as well. I thought it would make quite a nice game for whispering. So please let me know what you think about this first episode, if I should keep playing it on this channel. So this is set in 1930s Boston in America during the Great Depression, and it's all in black and white. Well, almost all in black and white, as you will see, and I really like the art style. I'm going to leave the game sounds on for this one because I think they can be quite tingle triggering sometimes, so I hope that you don't mind. But without further ado, let's get started. And there is going to be a quite long intro cutscene, and I'm not going to talk too much during that, just to let you get an introduction to the game, the story, I guess. Yeah, so here we go. This is the White Knight.
Some nights are just pitch black, without stars, and without sleep. Dirty nights clinging to you like tar. Like this one night, back in 1938. Boston. The Great Depression tsunami was just sweeping over what was left of America. Misery, hunger, despair. Times are hard, they said. Times were worse than hard. And the bar was about to close. As far as I was concerned, this was just another intoxicated day drawing to an end. If only I knew.
So this is the guy that we're going to play as throughout the game, and he's been at his local bar having a drink or two, and now he's about to go home. Just having a look at the moon. I do really like this black and white. It's a cool concept. Chapter 1. Out of course. white night.
The shock was still echoing in my bones, as the image of that girl coming out of nowhere surged back in my mind. Did I hit her? Was she dead? I couldn't remember. Thoughts were spinning in my head. I hope I didn't run her over. I hoped she's still alive. Then, the pain. Terrible pain on my side. And this question. Where am I?
Okay, so we possibly ran over a girl on our way home from the pub bar, and also injured ourselves. And this is where the game begins. Despite the pain, using the arrow keys to walk was still possible. Well, I am using WASD though. That works as well. And I could examine the place using space. This girl on the road, the impact. I couldn't find a body. Okay, so I'm gonna stumble over to this electric box thing. The box seemed to be connected to the electric lighting of the street. So it turned on the light over by the gate. I'm gonna go over there. For help, I could rely on the Boston Daily News, which I could check with Jay. Have I killed her? Who was that girl across the road? I couldn't avoid her, but I never found a body. I couldn't get her desperate stare out of my mind. But I was wounded, and I needed help. So basically, this is a summary of what happens in the game. Vesper Manor didn't ring a bell. My head was empty and painful. I could read the name Vesper on the mailbox. That name. No, ever since the commotion, my memory seemed like gone. The Boston Daily News basically works like a way for you to keep track of the story, especially if you stop playing for a while and you get back to it, then you can just check to see what you were doing and what has happened and so on. It's quite handy actually. So let's go in through the gates of the Vesper Manor.
I was trying to collect my thoughts, but the intense pain was scattering them like a bunch of dead birds. My fear of being wounded changed into an obsession. Was I about to die?
Sorry, I'm just gonna put subtitles on. If I can find that. Let's see. No. Could it be text, maybe? Yes. Subtitles, there we go. Sorry about the piano. So we're gonna look for help. It says for sale here. For sale. This board looked as old as the house. Whoops. It was quite a drop. The bucket fell down a dozen meters at least. No way to recover it. Thinking this was a premonition was probably just superstition, but I felt definitely uneasy. Yeah, so since I have played this before, I hope I'm not gonna be running around a lot. Yeah. Doing nothing, you know. Figuring out what to do. I think I'm going to remember most of the time what I need to do, so we should be good. The arm came from a marble structure. What arm? I can't see an arm. Oh well. So let's try the front door, shall we? The landlord was out, so the key might be around somewhere. We have to go look for it.
No one around. I was all alone, with my pain growing and some nausea starting up. Don't stop. Think quick. Think well. It was just an accident. It happens. The girl must have made it out alive. I had to make it out alive too.
No one answered my calls. Either someone was hiding in there, or the house was empty. In both cases, that wouldn't be very helpful. I needed a key. There was still some golden liquid inside the glass. I got it. The glass was still moist, and the chair was overlooking the garden. Someone was there very recently. If that person were to come back, my wound would be the only acceptable reason for breaking in. There's beer, it says here. Yeah. Okay. Sorry if you can hear a background noise right now. There's a tractor driving by. To William Vesper. Under normal circumstances, I would have never tried to contact you. I am an honest woman. I have supported my husband since the blessed day of our wedding, from which 2 beautiful children were born. I have given them the best education I could, but today I can't afford to raise them properly anymore. We are ruined. My husband's employer went bankrupt. He is travelling from town to town trying to find a job, while I have to beg for food every single day. My 4-year-old son has a bad cough, which is getting worse, and I fear for his life. Nowadays we can see children die in the streets. Is this still America? I beg of you, who are rich, only a few dollars would be enough. We could work for you. We live in the shack under the best oil sign, at the entrance of the slum, by the Graham slaughterhouses. Don't hesitate to come. Martha Kenton. So this is a letter from her to someone living in the house, presumably. To William Vesper. So, I'm gonna go look for a key. And one other reason for me to want to have the sound on for this, the game sound, is because, well, one of the reasons is that the dude talks a lot, as you've already heard, and also the music is quite important in this game. On the grave, the name Margaret Vesper seemed to challenge eternity itself. Who was she? The grave looked as daunting as a forgotten tomb. What a dire way of decorating a garden. Yeah, that's for sure. So music is quite an important part of this game. So I didn't want to be without it. Henry Vesper, a relative of the landlord. Probably. The statue was staring at me with a wide and hostile stare. I couldn't help but think about that statue's broken arm. Someone had obviously moved it recently, but I couldn't help thinking it was some kind of desecration. And as you can see already, there is quite a lot of text in this game, quite a lot of reading. William Vesper, no date on the grave. Which is one of the reasons why I thought that this game would be good for ASMR gaming. The statue had been moved recently, so let's go and try to move it again, like this. And there's the key. Twisted, but dead probably kept burglars away.
I had the feeling I was about to desecrate a sanctuary, to open the door to a world I didn't belong to. But whoever lived in there, they would understand. I needed help. Anyone would understand that.
I also really liked the sounds of him walking, and just a lot of the sounds of the game can be quite triggering, I think. Okay, so let's open these doors now. To see if anybody's home. Hello.
Getting somewhere safe. That's all that mattered. As the doors opened, the mansion seemed to react to my presence. There was a smell, like a cornered animal. The smell of fear. And yet, I entered the place because I had no choice. I was praying to find a phone or some help. I didn't even bother wondering what happened to prayers when they reached the wrong door.
Okay, so that's end of chapter 1. Let's play a little bit longer, shall we? Because chapter 1 is quite short. Gonna play a little bit more. Just waiting for the game to load. Loading. Oh, sorry. It was waiting for me to move. There we go. I thought it was a cutscene. Now it is a cutscene.
Hello? Hello? I need an ambulance. Can you hear me? I need help. What had happened? This cold, the darkness around me. I was usually not afraid of the dark. But there, on that day, I remembered I had a matchbox somewhere in my jacket. The urge to light a match was growing with every new chill running down my spine. In my pocket, I found a box of matches. Oh, did you
slammed. Prisoner. Once inside the house, I tried to use the phone to call for help, but the answer was scrambled and unintelligible. Who was it? As a chill went down my spine, the entrance door locked itself behind me. This over here is a box of matches. You need matches in this game. The shovel was covered with fresh soil. It seemed someone had been busy in that garden lately. The mud was still fresh. So we can open this door. I'm not going to go in quite yet. The boots have been used very recently. So the house is not abandoned. Is there a conclusion we can draw from that? Here's a light switch.
This is what the night looked like. Limited perspective is as closed as this door.
So we can't go in there. And here's a big door, which is locked as well. I couldn't go through there. So let's go to the door that we opened before and go in there. You need the matches because you can't be in the dark for too long. Then the ghosts will come and eat your face. Okay, so here is Margaret's diary, except 11 or 2. I think it's 11. August 21st, 1911. Suffocating in its useless illuminations and frills, the mansion doesn't have the greatness befitting a fortune. Like the Vespers, it's the work of a degenerate romantic. It's like a stain in this century. I ordered the flower beds on the east side of the garden to be removed. They made moving around complicated, and in summer, the scent was unbearable. I didn't talk about it to Henry, and he was quite upset. For the first time, I think I saw something like rage in his eyes. For a few seconds, he did look like a man. And then he shut himself back in his melancholy and played the piano all afternoon. His yes again, this stupid music which reeks of the debauchery and misery. So there are a couple of different diaries that you sort of collect throughout the gameplay. And this one is by Margaret Vesper. Was it the glow of the accident? Possibly. I think there should be a light switch. A light switch in here. There's some more matches here. I'll have those, please. 11 of them. Now there's 7 left, so we can come back and get those later. The armchair looked comfy. I could get some rest and save my progress. So let's do that. A soothing aura was surrounding this lunar goddess statue. The small statue of a lunar goddess that stood in the parlour felt like a comforting presence. Comes darkness, October 29th, 1938. The time came when we stopped counting. We stopped counting how many companies closed in the past 9 years. How many unemployed young families ended up in the streets, forced to live in slums around years ago, on October 29th, 1929. Born from the sick and speculative belly of America, the crash would throw the world into the storm and darkness. We are still here, but we lost faith. And we stopped counting, because these were just figures, because today they make us feel nauseous. Dawn seemed far at that time, and today some think they can see the sunrise. They seem to forget night and darkness are always out there, somewhere. So this is from a newspaper, and that is also something you can collect throughout the game. Let's do a little save.
Are you there?
Yes. Hello. As I woke up, I had recovered some strength. I could run. Using U, which is really awkward. I'm gonna change that real quick. Let's have shift as instead. There we go. So someone was talking to us. You want to save quite regularly in this game. Here's another Margaret diary. This is excerpt 12, August 28th, 1911. William is 7 today. He is with Henry, running after the servants in the garden, dressed up like monsters from space. Games, always games. The mansion is all upside down, and their yells gave me an awful headache. I am now cloistered in the office, unable to even pray. Henry's fantasies keep William away from his great destiny. I have to bring him back to me, as this will be my only chance to make a man out of him. To make him embrace the Ventacross legacy, to show him the way. Henry is a dreamer, and he has no ambition whatsoever. He can't teach him anything. Behind every great man there is a great woman. Nonsense. Women should be on the front line. This is where the opposite brought us. I have no illusion about how little power the world is leaving in the hands of women. But William is young. He is the future. I will act through him. And may night finally fall upon this house. May William stop running after deceiving lights to find the place he deserves in this world. Yeah, so William is Margaret's and Henry's son. There's a camera here. You can also collect photographs. September 5th, 1910. William, 6 years old. Let's get another match, actually. Oh. Hello.
Help me.
Who was it? Or what was it? In my world, women didn't glow like the moon. And they didn't walk through doors either.
Yes, good
I
job.
had to be more badly wounded than I thought.
So she went in here, into the library. But the library door is closed and locked. I saw a surreal woman crossing the doors like plumes of smoke. Her out-of-this-world beauty was extraordinary. Was it my imagination? Was she the girl on the road? That would explain why there was nobody. Are we losing our mind? Maybe. So I'm gonna get out of this room for a little bit. Oh, someone turned out the lights. Let's try to light it again. Turn it on again. first. Oh, did you see that? There's a ghost out in the hall. I think there is another newspaper on the sofa. Let's see if I can get around. There we go. Oh no, it's not. It's a note to self. Armchairs. I am so tired. Father ordered several leather club chairs from a Quincy craftsman. They are perfect. It is one of the few places where I can rest and think. Margaret wouldn't touch them, and I have no idea why. Maybe because they are marked with a sun, which made her blind. I don't know. I am just happy they are there. Or here. They are here. Thank you, Father. Okay, so there's another armchair right here. I'm going to do a little save. And I think I might leave it for today there. So, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see if I keep playing this or not. Depends a bit on what you think about it as well. I would like to make a full playthrough of this. It's not that long, so it's definitely doable. I'm not super sure about whether or not it's good to have a horror game for ASMR purposes or relaxing purposes, but I think if I am going to do a horror game, this is quite a good one. Because of the sounds. Like, the pacing is quite good, I think. But let me know what you thought about this, and I'll see you soon in another